Yo, what is going on, ladies? Back here with another live stream of Infernal Shard 1 for the win. And this is going to be a very, very interesting stream that I have for you guys. And we're actually going to be talking about the differences and what console is better between the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and how amazing that both consoles are, especially for their more power than the original standard models. So, yeah, we've got quite a bit of stuff that we're going to be discussing about, and even also with the next generation consoles, the PS5, and of course, the Xbox Project Scarlet. So, the PS4 Pro is Sony's first ever mid generation console, and technically the first ever PlayStation console to ever support 4K gaming. And the same thing is with also with the Xbox One X, which it's Microsoft's first ever mid generation refresh upgrade system. And it's also the very first Xbox to have ever, well, actually, no, it actually really is not, because the Xbox One S does allow upscale 4K, but technically the Xbox One X is technically still the first console of the Microsoft consoles to support native 4K for gaming, and that's what the PS4 Pro is actually strong enough to do. But a lot more games are actually able to hit native 4K on the Xbox One X than the PS4 Pro, but that's just because the One X has a little bit more power of an advantage over the PS4 Pro. When you compare 4.2 teraflops to 6 teraflops, that's a big difference in computing power. But you still got to give the PS4 Pro a lot of credit for as much powerful as it really is. If you compare it to 1.8 teraflops, yeah, that's 2.5 times more powerful than the original standard PS4. And even the standard PS4 is actually more powerful than the Xbox One, because you actually have a lot more games that can actually hit native 1080p. And on the Xbox One, there is like not that very many games that could hit 1080p on the Xbox One. Most games that you've seen only were able to hit at like 900p, and that was pretty much it. But there are some games that actually can hit native 1080p on the Xbox One, just like the PS4. You, of course, have GTA 5 that can. You, of course, have Battlefield 5. You also have the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. And you also have Borderlands, the Game of the Year edition remastered that just came out. And you also have, I think, Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, is actually very, very capable of hitting 1080p on the Xbox One. But with Borderlands 3, it's only able to hit 900p on the original Xbox One, and it still is, the PS4 is still very, very powerful to hit 1080p for Borderlands 3. Now, now with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, the PS4 Pro originally launched back on November 10th of 2016, and the Xbox One X didn't come out till about a year later on November 7th, 2017. And it's actually been a pretty good last couple of years for both of these consoles. Now, in between the two consoles we're actually going to talk about is what the gamers actually want. Now, like I said, with games running at more native 4K on the Xbox One X and not so much native 4K on the PS4 Pro, but like still, higher resolutions than the standard model PS4, you got to think like what's people going to really choose between the two systems. This is what gamers have as choosing. Do they want the power, or do they want the games themselves? Well, most hardcore gamers and quite a bit of casual gamers are most likely going to choose the games over power. And personally, I'm in that category too because I really like a console that has so many great exclusives and great third party support, especially, and games still looking great on there. I That's what I choose because honestly, I would choose the PS4 Pro any day over the Xbox One X. Even though I truthfully love the Xbox One X, I actually just got myself another One X to put in my bedroom just a couple weeks ago, and I actually only spent about $300 for this X, then compared to buying a brand new one for $400 to $500 at like GameStop or used from GameStop or the pawn shop for $350. I actually did save quite a bit of money with purchasing this one from one of my one of the strangers that live in my local town that was actually selling one that I seen on sale on the Facebook Marketplace, and I asked about it, and that was honestly a pretty good deal. The system honestly works great. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually ended up getting a free game with it that I really love, and that was Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. So, yeah, so I still like the Xbox One X a lot, even though I just prefer the PS4 Pro over it. And it's mostly because I just like the PS4 controllers and just the games themselves. Like God of War looks fantastic on the PS4 Pro, even though it doesn't run at true 4K. It only runs at like 1440p with upscale resolution to 4K, but it almost still looks like that the game is actually running in 4K. Like it still looks really, really crisp. And another game that I really like that you can only get on the PS4 Pro is actually um, Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 literally looks fantastic. It runs at the exact same resolution as God of War, 1440p, with upscaling from there to 4K, and the game just looks gorgeous. I mean, that still game is still impressive even playing it on the original PS4. Like Uncharted 4 is like so dang impressive. Like the game just looks phenomenal. Like still like even on the base PS4 at 1080p, Uncharted 4 still looks pretty dang good. And another great game, and this is actually a third party game. It came out just a year ago, and it just turned a year 2 days ago on the 26th, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2, which Red Dead Redemption 2 literally looks phenomenal on the Xbox One X and 4K, but the game still looks gorgeous even on the base PS4 and 1080p. So right there is another great game that still looks great on the base PS4. Now, the resolution is kind of a bit odd for Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4 Pro. It actually only runs at 1920 by 2160, so it's giving you like a half 4K and like a half like 1080p picture. So almost it's making it look like that the game plays at 2550 by 1440p natively. And honestly, I don't understand why Rockstar didn't even like just make it to where it was that resolution instead. But then again, Sony was putting so much money into that game, and they wanted to try to make the game look as close to 4K realistic for their console as much as they possibly could. But even still, when you compare it from the base PS4 at 1080p and that resolution on the PS4 Pro, and you have a 4K TV display or a 4K monitor, you're still going to tell a difference of the visuals and stuff. So Red Dead 2 is still going to look a little edge better on the PS4 Pro than the original PS4. Now, as I was saying, with like gamers figuring out what they want to do, is it the power that matters or is it the games? Now, when the Xbox One X first initially launched, or that was getting ready to initially launch, there is sites that were saying that the game or the console is way more successful than the PlayStation 4 Pro and it was selling more. Honestly, I honestly think that that was honestly a lie. Honestly, because if you think about it, the One X didn't come out until a year after the PS4 Pro initially launched. So the PS4 Pro had a year of, a year being ahead of the mid-generation refreshes more than the Xbox One X did, because like I said, the One X came out on November 7th of 2017 and the PS4 Pro didn't come out until a year before that on November 10th of 2016. So right there is a big year difference leap of the console being out. So if you honestly ask me, I personally think that the PS4 Pro is probably has sold more than the Xbox One X. I mean, even if you think about it with the PS4 and Xbox Ones all together, Xbox One has only sold around somewhere between 43 to 49 million units. That's how much total that the Xbox One Microsoft has sold. And you compare it to what Sony just hit this past summer with 100 million units, that's a pretty big difference right there. 100 million units compared to 45, that's like over twice the much more consoles of the PlayStation 4 of what Sony has sold than Microsoft. And the reason being is because like Sony just keeps making these amazing big third party AAA exclusive games for the PS4 and they're just they're just amazing. Like I said, Uncharted 4 looks great on the PS4 Pro and it still looks great on the original PS4. God of War the same thing. Spider-Man also the same. Infamous Second Son, which is another good exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a fabulous exclusive. And when you compare to all these exclusives from the Microsoft exclusive lineup that they have, all Microsoft really had was all the Forza games from Forza Motorsport 5 to Forza Horizon 4, which is the current one, every single year. But you actually have Rise Son of Rome, which I think wasn't like a big exclusive for Xbox One, but it was a pretty decent hit at the lineup when Xbox One first initially launched. And then you actually have Halo 5 Guardians, Gears of War 4, Gears of War 5, and State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves. And a lot of these games just did not live up to the hype of what fans were initially wanting. Like Sea of Thieves, just Microsoft just initially like forced to rush Sea of Thieves out the door, and it had so many bugs, and it just like was so rushed. And the same thing goes for State of Decay 2, which it was completely rushed out the door, and it just Microsoft just hasn't been taking their time with these games. And another thing of why Sony is winning big with this generation was the fact that they're actually continue focusing on gamers. Microsoft's just trying to initially like make you pay a subscription just to play these games, and it just doesn't work out for Microsoft. Like it just does not work out for Microsoft at all. But like I said, I still think that the Xbox One X is still an amazing console. I mean, it still plays games in like true 4K and such, but as I stated before, I just would much rather have the PS4 Pro, and I just choose it over the One X any day of the week. But yeah. And then there was a thing that just happened recently, which even though I'm going to be talking about it, and I'm also going to make a separate video of this topic, but there is a game that just released on Friday alongside with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and it's actually called The Outer Worlds, and the game actually looks actually gorgeous, even on the original Xbox One at the lowest resolution possible. the game still honestly looks very, very gorgeous. And about 5 to 6 days before the game initially launched, there was actually a rumor of a leak that was coming up, and it was saying that the Outer Worlds would not be enhanced for the PlayStation 4 Pro, but it was for the Xbox One X. And we get to close to the release date, just 2 days before the game initially launched, and that site or that whatever post of whoever that posted it, it actually ended up not being true. It actually ended up being the game wasn't enhanced for the PS4 Pro. It ran at 1440p with upscaling resolution to 4K. So there was enhancements for the PS4 Pro version of that game. And I honestly know that I've said this before, and like I said, I'm probably going to also make a separate rant video about this topic, but as I stated before, that just because a game does not run in native 4K literally does not mean that the game is not enhanced for the One X or the PS4 Pro. Like, there are games that don't even run native 4K that are still enhanced on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, and here's a list of 6 games that do not hit native 4K on the enhanced consoles, but that are still enhanced on these consoles: Shadow the Tomb Raider, Borderlands 3, Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, Crash Team Racing, Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, a remake of the amazing Far Cry 3, and last but not least, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Those games don't run at native 4K on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, but they still get higher resolutions than the standard Xbox One and PS4, and games just still look very, very gorgeous, and they still look really, really upgraded. So, yeah. But, yeah, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, what's gamers really going to choose? Is it going to be the power, or is it going to be the games themselves? Most likely, most of the gamers, like most hardcore gamers and half the casual audience, are most likely going to say the games is what matters. So most people would probably end up agreeing with me on this. They would probably choose the PS4 Pro over the Xbox One X any day because you're getting more games with that system. And even though it doesn't do 4K, or, well, I mean, even though a lot of games is what I meant to say doesn't do like true native 4K, people would still much rather pay the console to play these games. And that's the same thing with going into next generation. There's been so many rumors and sites and leak insiders and developers that are saying that, oh no, the Xbox Project Scarlet's going to be more powerful than the PS5, or the PlayStation 5 is going to be more powerful than the Xbox Scarlet, and we officially do not know until these consoles come out in just little over a year from now. So we won't know until the consoles come out. So, but honestly, I can already assure you, but who knows? Plans might change. Things can change at any minute in time. But as we so far know, most likely we already know that the winner of next gen is most likely going to be Sony's PlayStation 5. Like, even if the system is not as powerful as the Xbox Scarlet, or if it ends up being more powerful, Sony is still literally going to kill it next generation. Just look how amazing they did with the PS4 with all these exclusives that everybody really chooses for. It's the same thing that's going to happen with PS5 if Sony keeps it up. But who knows? Microsoft has bought so many studios as their exclusive lineup just in 2018. And Microsoft might have a lot more exclusives to come, and who knows? And it might be more powerful than the PS5 and the same amount of exclusives. And who knows? Microsoft might win again next generation. Who knows? because Microsoft did win with the 360 era and Sony was struggling with the PS3 at the beginning of its life cycle. But they ended up catching up at the end of its life cycle, and the PlayStation 4 just ended up killing the Xbox One this generation, and we, most of us gamers personally, think that it's going to be Sony that's going to win next generation again. But who knows? Microsoft may have some more things up their sleeve than what we think. But as far as we know, we honestly think that Sony's going to win next generation. And personally, I'm looking more forward to the PS5 than I am with the Xbox Scarlet, even though I'm pre-ordering both of the systems and I'm looking forward to both of them. I'm just got more hypes for the PS5 that I'm just a little edge more hyped for than the Xbox Scarlet. But yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this live stream that I did about the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And sorry if you just heard a horn outside. I got my front door open. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this live stream, please hit a like on this video. And if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button. And I will keep you guys posted with more gaming videos and more streams in the future and all that good stuff. And send me down in the comment section down below of your thoughts on this video with the PS4 Pro versus the Xbox One X. What console do you choose? Is it the games that matter more, or do you like the true 4K of the games third party with the power? Just give me your thoughts down in the comment section down below if you choose power over the games or if you choose the games over the power. But I'm pretty sure that most of you are going to choose the games, but there's some of you out there that like the third party games looking so much better and crisp on the One X being the more powerful console. So just send me down in the comment section down below, guys, and hit a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you guys are new, and we will catch you guys on the next video. So peace out.